I'm Gwen, Preston of Resource Maven. We're here at the Metals Investor Forum in Toronto at the beginning of March, and I'm joined by Dawson Brisco of Morien Resources. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you too.
Yeah, so Morien, let's just start to make sure people know what we're talking about before I get into the details. Explain Morien, your royalty company specifically. Predominantly you have a royalty on this coal mine in Nova Scotia.
Right, yeah, we had working interests in two projects, both in Nova Scotia. In 2014 and 15, we divested of those working interests for cash and royalties. The main project is Donkin. It's a thermal and metallurgical coal mine owned by Chris Klein. We have a 2 to 4% royalty on it. It is in production, has been in production for about a year and a half now, and we think at peak production, which should be about 18 months from now, we'll be getting close to $6 to $9 million a year, which is significant given our market cap is only 25 million today. So to be, get good visibility on a royalty that could be paying us a third of our current market cap when most royalty companies trade at a 10 times to their annual cash flow, we think that that re-rating event isn't that far away.
Absolutely. So the re-rating might be slightly on hold right now because the Donkin mine is also on hold right now. So why don't you explain why the mine has been suspended and what you see going on there?
Yeah, late December they experienced a roof fall at Donkin, and roof falls, I would start this by saying, are common. What's uncommon is a roof fall at the active mine face. That's not what happened here. Most roof falls happen in older parts of the mine, which was the case at Donkin. No one was injured, no equipment was damaged. However, the government did request a brief pause on production. They asked Cameron to revisit their roof bolting plan to see if there was any steps that could be taken to improve roof falls or at least reduce the frequency of them happening in the future. They brought in 2 consultants from Colorado to assist with that process. It took them a better part of a month. They submitted the report to government, and government quickly gave them effectively the green light to go back into production. They've been in production now for about 30 days, but at a reduced capacity. And another key event was Nova Scotia government brought in 2 consultants from MSHA, the U.S. Mine Site Safety Agency. They advised in an informal capacity on Cameron's new plan. That only happened about 10 days ago. So where we are now is we're waiting for the government to give Cameron the green light to go back to full-scale production, and that could happen any day.
And full-scale production is almost a question mark in itself in the scale of it. So Cameron is known for building mines to a certain size and then getting them bigger and bigger. This is sort of the history of this very successful U.S. coal company. And they have brought some new equipment in at Donkin that suggests that they're more likely to, hit the upper end of the potential range of production than the lower end.
That's right. And Chris Klein has never done anything historically on a small scale. Everything is done really efficiently, safely, highly profitable operations. He sold Foresight Energy in 2015, I believe, for about $1.5 billion. Donkin is one of 2 projects that he's picked up in Canada. And yes, the new piece of equipment they just brought on, the FCT, it's a flexible conveyor train, a 400-foot long, very expensive piece of equipment, a major step forward for the project, certainly. It's basically a continuous haulage system. It's 400 feet long, mobile conveyor belt. But in a typical coal mine, if you don't have complicated geology, of which Donkin doesn't, you can see an FCT and a continuous miner produce over 1 million tons of coal annually. And there's 4 other continuous miners on site, so that's why we start to get pretty excited about what 2019 looks like. So once they get back into full-scale production and the FCT is working properly, we should see a big spike in the royalty revenue.
And I would say the important thing as a shareholder that I like to underline is what Morien does with the money that comes into the company. So the focus with Morien has always been to basically give the money back to shareholders.
3 things. 1, last year we trimmed G&A by $111,000. We issued quarterly dividends. Those are going to go up incrementally, commensurate with Donkin's production ramp up. At some point could be 8 to 9 cents per share. We're also actively buying back our own stock in the company through an NCIB. We've purchased 17% of the company since 2015.
And so you reduce the share count, so the amount of money that's coming in is being dividended out to a smaller number of shares, so more per share. And you're sort of looking at giving back almost 80% of royalty revenue back to shareholders. So this is a dividend-paying bet on metallurgical coal in a safe jurisdiction with a U.S. operator who's known for scale.
That's right. And Chris Klein isn't like a Gold Corp or a Glencore or a Teck, which is at the mercy of differing corporate agendas. He's a singular focus to build a highly profitable coal mine, and we have a 2 to 4% royalty on that mine.
That's exciting stuff. Well, thanks for the update, and we look forward to keeping up with the news in 2019.
Thanks, Gwen.